known to man, Father. But, Lord God, every way you have made a way of escape. Thank you, Lord God, for making a way of escape that we don't have to be stuck in the trap. But, Lord, there is a way out of that mess, Lord God. And we thank you today, Father. We thank you for it, Lord God. And we just want to lift up that name of Jesus. Amen and amen. My brothers and sisters, just to recap what we've been talking about. We've been talking about promise to the seekers. Are you seeking God today? If you are seeking him, remember Luke 11:9 says, and I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. See, you have access, my brothers and sisters. You have access. You have but to seek, knock, and the door shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Ask, it shall be given. Oh, it's there, my brothers and sisters. The access to the power that God has given us through Jesus Christ, it's available. It's available to you. You don't have to die. You don't have to just give up and say you can't do it, because the Bible tells us in Philippians that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So on this journey in this new year, up the mountains, down into and through the valleys, we are more than conquerors. You have to tell yourself. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. When everything else is talking, you need to tell the negative committee in your head to shut up. Yes. Don't be afraid to say, shut up. And it shall obey. It shall obey. So don't be afraid to tell that negative committee to shut up. Don't be afraid to step out on who you are. God has made you. You are more than an overcomer. You are more than a conqueror. You are wonderful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, my brothers and sisters. And you have to realize this. There is nothing, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is a new year that God is doing new things. Remember, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the present. And you can live today in the present. Yesterday is gone. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we know who holds tomorrow. Yesterday is gone. You don't know what holds tomorrow. All you have is today. Why not embrace today and live your best life today? Because God has given you, he's given you access to his divine and precious promises, brothers and sisters. It's time to live for him. You got to remember that there is a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Hey guys, Guys, you know what's coming up? Valentine's Day. It'll be here before you know it. Have you got that perfect gift for that love of your life? If not, make a trip to Shylock's Pawn. They've got a wide selection of beautiful jewelry, including amethyst, sapphires, diamonds, and more, all at great prices. And if you're looking for a firearm, Shylock's has a great selection of guns. And as always, if you're short on cash, Shylock's has cash for you. Shylock's Pawn, 1204 Clinch Avenue in South Clinton, 865-457-2960.
Hi, folks. This is Wimp Shootman. I would like to thank the Eye Center for their support for the Clinton Dragons. I know firsthand how they treat you. This is where I go for my service. The Eye Center is a total eye care center. The doctors and staff are committed to carrying on the tradition of quality treatment and surgery for a broad range of eye conditions and diseases. They serve all ages and have a large supply of the latest frames for your selection. Call 865-482-8890 or come by 90 Vermont Avenue in Oak Ridge. The Eye Center is your center for eye care.
Have you ever wondered how a body shop comes up with the exact color when they repair your car? H&H Body Shop has some of today's newest and most technologically advanced equipment.
I have a camera that if I had no idea what color your car was, I tell that camera what the whitest white is, and I tell it what the blackest black is. That's how you synchronize it. And I take a picture of your vehicle. It sees what it sees. It hooks to the computer. It goes into the database of all the formulas ever created for cars. It'll make a formula for what it's seen.
It'll tell you what to mix.
Yeah. And on top of that, I have some technicians that can see it and make it. They can see it and they know what it takes to make it.
H&H Body Shop, today's best technology and local down-home folks. Locally owned, locally operated. H&H Body Shop at 749 North Main Street in Clinton. Call 865-457-9735.
It's time for new flooring, and just in time, Karen's Carpet Sales is offering the sale of a lifetime on LVP from Mohawk. Waterproof floating floor with an innovative lacquer that repels dirt and grime for simple cleaning. And best of all, it's only $1.99 per square foot and comes with a 25-year residential warranty. If it's time to freshen up the look of your home, nothing brightens it up like new flooring. Whether you decide on carpet or laminate, let Karen's Carpet Sales help you give your home just the look you want. Come in and see what's new and bring your imagination. Laminate vinyl plank is waterproof, scratch resistant, and you can choose from several colors. And when your floors look good, you feel good. Karen's Carpet is your headquarters for flooring, carpet, laminate, and on sale now, LVP from Mohawk. Karen's Carpet has been serving East Tennessee for over 50 years. They're located in Claxton, 1961 Clinton Highway, 865-945-3353. Karen's Carpet, the store that gives you more. 945-3353.
That is why we're
Yeah,
here.
that's it.
See,
me and Russell start the program, and we just started it off air.
Yeah,
Forgot to turn the mics on. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing okay. I am. It's a little cold for my liking, but, you know, I'd rather have it sunshiny and cold as the snow that we've had. How do we fare county-wise, road-wise with the
Is
snow?
Brad texting you?
Probably.
Yeah, he's texting me. See,
Was he? Oh, is
look
it
at his text.
tilt up?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, okay.
I think he was telling us, shut up and get on the air.
Yes, he is. Yeah, it's okay. We got it. So there we are. He wanted me to get you in to frame you up better. Okay, so now you're all framed up and pretty full. How'd we fare with the weather and the roads as far as traffic accidents and such? We do.
Yeah, everything was pretty good outside of what Oak Ridge PD dealt with, that fatality, that double fatality. That was a incredibly unique thing.
How did I've looked at that every way that I could. How was it? Just the jar from the bottom that loosened the top of the building on that accident?
This is unofficial. All right, this is just me having conversations with people I know at Oak Ridge. They're still investigating and reconstructing the accident. Unfortunately, no witnesses to really discuss it and talk about it. However,
really?
Well, I mean, both were deceased.
I know that, but I thought people in the parking lot or something.
So, but unofficial channels, and of course we won't know until the autopsy's done, but they believe that there was a medical emergency, like the driver had maybe a heart attack, stroke, and I mean, that's just speculation on my part. But they believe there was some sort of medical issue that caused him to lose control of the car.
Yeah.
And they believe that it caused the car to accelerate, right?
Oh.
And his daughter, who was a passenger, was attempting to steer the car, right?
Yeah.
But the speeds really got up there. From what I'm told, the impact was at the top of that building. That the car went airborne.
Oh my Lord!
So, because at first I thought the same thing. I thought, well, it hit the bottom of the building and it jolted and caused it to cave up top. But from what I'm told is they believe the impact was at the top of the building because the car went airborne.
Oh my!
So the one thing that just from the news reports and the pictures that didn't make sense to me is the car was laying on its driver's side.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
I thought, how in the world did it hit that hard to cause damage at the top of the building?
So it had to be going at a pretty high rate of speed, didn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think they're at least under the impression it wasn't like any recklessness on his part. It was just an incredibly tragic accident.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so sad. 17-year-old. I mean, you hate any kind of tragedy like that, but a 17-year-old, and she worked at Food City. That's what a terrible thing.
I'm sure it's incredibly tough times down there right now. But outside of that, we had our typical cars in the ditches, people overestimating their ability to drive in the snow, underestimating how slick snow and ice can be. I saw the city had one, and I was stunned by it, but it was on its roof.
I didn't see
it. Up by Carriage Hills.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, where it comes sliding off Longmire there, yeah.
Oh, my stars, over the bank?
Yeah, and I was like, good Lord. And so, and then outside of that, we had, and I would like to give a piece of advice to people on this. And this, unfortunately, happens every year. So they are trying to get home or trying to get out, whatever it is they're doing, and they get stuck. And they walk away from their car. Well, we have people, and they take advantage of that, and they use that as an opportunity to burglarize cars. My advice to you is, if you have anything valuable in there, carry it with you, just leave your car unlocked, because
otherwise they'll
bust your window to get in.
That's terrible.
I have an old convertible that ain't worth anything. It's
the one you drive your car around, the dog around.
For
your dog.
Exactly.
For your dog.
I drive Cooper in.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with my tracker. And so, criminals, if you're listening, it stays unlocked. And there's nothing in there.
Nothing in there with havoc.
Yeah, because the last thing I want somebody to do is cut the top on it.
Of course.
That top is more than the car, honestly.
And insurance ain't going to cover it.
And so I'm just like, ugh. So if you find yourself in that situation, just take valuables with you and leave it unlocked. Let them get in it and see there's nothing in there. I mean, because in those situations, it's prime picking. We had a rash of that in the Claxton community. But our detectives are looking at it, and of course, we have our usual suspects because we have a segment of our community that's kind of one of their specialties.
Yeah.
Santa runs once a year, and they do too. Once a year we get snow. So
you know who they are, or you got a good suspicion.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hate that. I would have never really thought about that. The prime opportunity, I guess. People.
Well, it's out of habit. You lock your cars, and generally you need to lock your cars. It keeps an honest man honest. But in those situations where the snow and we're on our snow schedule where we're just responding, not patrolling, to prevent crime, because we want to keep our guys and girls safe as well.
Yeah.
And so we're responding to emergencies. In that situation, you pick stuff up and leave it unlocked because, they're snowed in too, so they're going to walk around and see what they can get into.
You mentioned before we went on the air that I had a call. You might have heard it yesterday. Somebody wanting an update on the schools live on the air on the Clinton High School situation, and you said that you reached out to General Clark.
Yes.
Anything that he had that you could share?
No, but I do know. What I know is it's. I hate to say this, but it's being held up by attorneys. But there's.
Okay.
But I'm confident that. I'm confident that I know we're done on our end.
Okay.
And we've turned the file over, and it's just a matter of getting it in front of a grand jury, I would imagine.
Okay. And right now, you think there's just a lot of wheeling dealing with attorneys going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which honestly, you know, I guess after all this time in the business, I'm just accustomed to that, you know. And if you're on the business end of us, you're thankful for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as a average citizen, you're like,
taking forever.
What's happening?
Yeah.
You know?
I told him. In fact, I told the gentleman that I would email Dave. I was supposed to be meeting with him. So I was going to. In fact, I am going to meet with him when he gets all his stuff going. You know. But he wanted to meet, so I was going to just find out then. But since you spoke to him already this morning, I'd give that update. How's everything else?
Well, we had a fabulous shopping with the sheriff.
That's fantastic.
It was so much fun.
How many kids did y'all get to help?
I think we did 45. You know, one of the amazing things is we try to be around 50, but we always clip above 50. But it's bizarre to me that every year we have families that don't show up. And I don't know.
They sign up and don't show up.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So, and if it's an issue of, when we tell them, if it's an issue about transportation, we can get to them. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. TJ Maxx did a great job for us. They had coffee and donuts and snacks for the kids, and they just went hog wild. We had one deputy. One of the things that is really neat about that, and those kids don't realize that it's kind of a lottery ticket as well. So we have a set amount we tell deputies they can spend. Well, if you get the right deputy,
you might spend a little more.
We had one deputy who spent, this is no joke, $400 of his own money, in addition to what we had set out. And we were like, because, you know, we anticipate, we try to anyway, because we know, first off, my deputies, they ain't worried about no math. You know, I mean, you know, they're
not figuring it up as they go.
They're kind of loosely doing it, you know, but they're not sticklers.
Gotcha.
So we always know, hey, this one went over $15-$30, you know, and so we're prepared.
Yeah.
You know, we're over there with our money in our sock to make up the difference at the end of the day. But this guy went way over, and we're like, dude, what is this about? And he just said, look, man, I have been blessed with some additional income and unexpected income. And he said, and I wanted this kid to have a good Christmas. And I was just
blown away.
Yeah. I mean, it was just awesome.
That is awesome.
And he's such a good guy. I mean, he's such a good guy.
That's awesome to know.
But yeah, that kid scored. And
he hit the lottery.
And I will tell you this too, that
did the other kids go, hey?
No, I mean, everybody's so wild.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wondered about that. But one of the things too that I like about that is just watching them. I mean, like they're so sweet. They want to buy gifts for their parents. I mean, just really cool stuff that I sure don't see out of my kids.
I was getting ready to say, I remember those when my kids used to be like that. It used to be.
But so that was good. Outside of that, we've just it's been tough since about October because we've just unfortunately experienced a lot of loss. Lieutenant Moore down in Oak Ridge passed unexpectedly. Of course, Sergeant Bunch from Oak Ridge passed. Trooper Goldie. And then Director McBroom's wife passed here recently. And so we've been dealing with a lot of that, and that's been wearing on everybody's psyche a little bit.
That and this time of year is also hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gray and dark early. I come in, it's dark. I leave, it's dark. It's it's like everything is gloomy.
It's just it's just tough world anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It really is.
And
I know.
And but a lot of that, and I don't know. We got some good news for the citizens in the county. We had the I-75 shooting a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's been we were sued in a multitude of facets. The county was sued, sheriff's office, me personally, the deputies involved, and that has officially been dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can't file it again. So we went through a lot of depositions and things like that, but TBI ruled that as a good use of force.
Yeah.
And the lawsuit went nowhere. So that's good. And then we had one, gosh, I don't even remember because it really wasn't ours, but it occurred in Anderson County. But our deputies weren't a part of it outside of getting the guy into custody. The gentleman they attempted to make a traffic stop in Campbell County by Follett or Jacksboro 1.
Is that the one that ran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ran, well, he originally pulls over, I guess. I really don't know the details because, again, it wasn't us. We just did the pit maneuver and got him stopped.
Yeah.
But there was, he had a gun.
Yes.
And then he ran. And then they chased, and then he finally did make a stop just inside Anderson County, and that's where the shooting occurred. And he was hit. He gets back in his car, takes off, goes further down 75.
After being shot.
Yeah, and that's where we get involved.
Yeah.
And it was, as you can imagine, incredibly chaotic.
No
because
kidding.
we can't. I know it's 2025, but I can't get on the radio and talk to Campbell County.
What?
Yeah, I mean, because the Tennessee Valley system is
Really?
Each individual.
You would think there'd be like an emergency channel that everybody could pop into when it happens.
Yes and no. Okay, so like we're digital.
Wow. Yeah.
And then La Follette PD may be, and I don't know what they are, but they may be though analog, right?
Yes.
So we can't communicate, but we're getting it relayed through dispatch. So
Gotcha.
Dispatch is on the phone with their dispatch, and they're telling us what they're reporting.
What to do.
But so we did a pit maneuver and got the car stopped, and we loosely knew shots had been fired. We didn't know the guy had been hit, and he's still resisting, right? So we get him into custody and realize, hey, this guy's been shot. So they get him out there and go to the hospital. Of course, he's out now, but we've got a lot of charges, and I'm not sure what was motivating him or why he fled. So
what it was just a traffic stop. Did he have like warrants or anything?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I can tell you this. It's just one of those bizarre things that, also with the Moss case that just got dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something we started,
It just ended up
That chase
here.
started in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then he cut through Anderson County, and we threw spike strips and got one tire. And of course, at those rates of speed, he just kept trucking, and our guys just jumped in the car and just went in that general direction. And the Jellicoe officer actually was still in pursuit, and
Gotcha.
And so he reports, hey, this car's spun out or crashed. I don't remember how it came out. And so our deputies were right there, so they went to back him up, and it was actually just in Knox County line,
So now everybody's involved.
And then that shooting occurred.
Gosh.
And I'm just like, good Lord. But that's one of those things, and I've not heard yet, but while we were on Christmas, I guess THP had a shooting somewhere around Watt Road.
I heard about that. I don't know.
I don't know the details of that. But Chief Galloway and I were talking the other day. I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, mental health is such a huge issue, right? And I mean, not just for the bad guys, for all of us, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
everybody's dealing with something.
Yeah.
Everybody is dealing with something. So, but I don't know why these people don't stop. I mean,
pull over and stuff.
I mean, because so take for example this guy that ran from Campbell County and La Follette or Jacksboro, whoever it was.
He's
I
dead.
mean, whatever the initial problem was,
It's not as
much
bad
worse
as
now.
not as bad
Much
as what
worse
it ended
now.
up.
And I just don't get that. But people, I don't know. It's just bizarre. And the anti-law enforcement stuff, it seems to be swinging the other way. Of course, we're a little insulated here in Anderson County. Our people are generally pro-police. We have
Yes.
a few, but so it's really not even that. But man, I don't understand it.
The world is, I don't know, seems like it's coming apart at the
I mean,
seams.
listen, you give me the choice between being shot and picking up a bunch of felonies. I'll take my
I'll
ticket.
take felonies. Yeah.
I'll take my ticket.
Yeah, I'm the
I'll
same
take my
way.
ticket, or I'll take my chances. I'd rather spend a couple nights in jail than
And then the rest of your life 6 feet under. I got you.
or in prison because you took a
Took a shot at an officer or something.
it
That's
just don't make
crazy. You know,
sense.
people don't. Most of the time, Russell, and you probably know this better than anybody, and probably jailers know it better than everybody. Those people, I don't think they think like the rest of us do all the time. Some of them, it's their thought processes, their fight and flight mechanisms are much different than ours.
Yeah. So I know once there was a, and this is the general rule as opposed to the stuff we're talking about. Lots of times, young folks don't know what they don't know, and what I mean by that is if you're riding a motorcycle and they're pulling you over for speeding, but you don't, and you're panicked because you know how to ride a motorcycle, but you don't have the endorsement, and you think, oh Lord, this is a ticket for sure. I'm not stopping. Well, now you've taken a traffic violation and turned it into a felony.
Yeah.
Because it's fleeing.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first became a police officer, one of the craziest things that I was just like, had no idea. Auto burglary.
Yeah.
Is a felony. E-felony. Yeah. So, and I just remember primarily what we would see is juveniles running around checking for unlocked cars and taking change.
Yeah.
They were passing up good stuff.
They did it to my truck in Mariner Point 4 times.
Yeah, they had like they were holding iPads and not knowing what they were, right? I don't need that, but hey, here's 76 cents.
Yeah.
Because they want cigarettes or a vape or whatever they're trying to get. But they don't realize they've now bumped that into a felony.
They've now turned themselves into felons. Yeah, that's crazy.
So you try to show a little grace and mercy if the kid is just being
I get it. Yeah. I get it.
But
you should.
But also, you got to balance that with making sure the lesson is learned.
I wanted to ask you about, we're talking about kids, and you mentioned it. I got a draft from a county commissioner where they're getting ready to try and put something together with regard to vapes. Are you familiar with some of that legislation or what they're trying to do? Trying to get it, and I don't know if it's just here in Anderson County or if it's going to be a statewide thing where we could and would police it similar to how we do the convenience stores and stuff for underage beer. Yeah. Because we have a number of vape shops right now that are selling to kids. I know, absolute, without a shadow of a doubt. What are we doing? That's become, if you look at it, that's become one of the middle school. It says it's much worse at middle school than it is in high school, and I don't know why that is, but it was very bad in middle school. I spoke to the administration and stuff there when the boys were there last year. What is that a crime for the kids to have a vape? And what do you do to the person that sells it to them, and how do you police that if you can? It's
incredibly hard to police. So, and it's really about it's a crime, right? They can't. It's no different than them having tobacco products, before they're legally allowed to. But what we're talking about here is it's all, one, misdemeanors, and two, the juvenile court system is solely designed for rehabilitation as opposed to punishment. Okay. Now, these stores, listen, my speculation on that is this. The kids who are making those purchases in stores are, I don't want to say less sophisticated, but I promise you there's more of it being purchased online.
Oh, I know. Online
Right
and on the
parents'
street.
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all it takes is, and that's what makes it hard to police. Okay, if you've got a kid whose parents either are not worried about their kid vaping, and they're like, that's better than what they could be doing. If they're like, if that's their approach,
Mm-hmm.
and they have access to credit cards, this kid can not only get what he wants, but he can make him a side hustle
Mm-hmm.
as selling to the other kids.
Yep.
And that's what we see a lot of in our schools, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is there's one or two guys that.
Well, see, and now you can order these THC vapes, and I mean, it's just, might as well be selling drugs on the internet. Well, they are selling drugs on the internet.
Sure, yeah.
And so
I don't know. I don't know how to handle that, honestly.
and again, I apologize that I don't have all the information. I'll have Tim Isbells, who sent me, sent it to me. I'll have him copy you on it.
Yeah.
If I can find it. But anyway, it's just that it's a problem, and I don't know. If anybody knew the answer, I guess we'd have it solved by now. But nobody knows the answer. But it's a problem that affects. You know that I've dealt with it with my kids. I've had issues with it. The kids' friends. I mean, it seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is. I guess I don't know. It's so hard to remember because it just didn't seem as prevalent. But, I remember when I was in school, there was kids that smoked.
Yeah.
Cigarettes.
My high school had a smoking section.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't old enough to buy them, but you had a smoking section.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, it's just tough to regulate and enforce. And then again, it's, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be worried about in juvenile court rehabilitation as opposed to punishment. But I think you gotta have a good balance there.
Yeah.
Because, we've seen nationally some of the more liberal states, such as California. I watched a really interesting thing last night talking about, how you can steal up to $900 and it's not a crime.
Yeah, up to $999. $1,000 or less, it's a misdemeanor ticket.
Yeah.
That's why, did you not see back in the day when they were doing the smash and grabs, each person would make note that they didn't have more than $900 worth of stuff, but they might send 50 people in there.
Yes.
None of them charged.
Yeah.
And so now they're getting havoc wreaked on them because of the looting, and they're just making sure they're not taking anything worth over $900.
So the thing last night was talking about how the LA fires, they cut the fire department's budget by $17 million.
Mm-hmm. $17.8 million.
And how they had 100 trucks that were in the shop because they didn't have money to.
Fire hydrants empty, reservoirs drained.
Yeah, and so then on top of that, you had the looting.
Yeah.
And I think it was Julia Roberts was mad.
Oh,
because,
yeah. Well, I mean, they went through this anti-police thing out there. Like you said, They've dealt a lot more with rehabilitation than they have with incarceration. They've welcomed in, hundreds of thousands of illegals that are currently staying in places while the people that are out of their homes have nowhere to stay. The state has financed all of that and paid for all of that at the expense of fire, police, and now their own residents. And now they're asking FEMA to come in and step up and take care of it. And the people are suffering because of it. And it's at least if anything comes out of this, I think maybe at least people will start to realize that when you elect somebody to do a job, if they're not qualified to do it, if they don't have I'm going to say business experience or whatever they need to do it, you're going to end up with messes like this. Hopefully never again this big. But I mean, if we had something like that here in the state of Tennessee, in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, we didn't have those problems. I mean, it was terrible.
Yes.
But we had responding fire from all over the place. We had, and it's because this state's run a little different than that state.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, the chickens are coming home to roost in California. The people that they've let out are now the ones that are going around doing the looting.
They had a guy, they called him, he had a blowtorch, running around setting trees on fire.
Yeah, they caught him. And he was also here undocumented, illegal.
Yeah, he was here illegally. Had been here since the Obama administration.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really familiar. But I'm like, it's
the world's went crazy, Russell. I mean, it's just the world is. I don't understand.
And they were talking about if you decide to rebuild there, that it takes 2 to 3 years to get all the permits.
The coastal, whatever it's called, they're I guess what we'd call our planning commission. The Coastal Planning Commission is what it's called.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, they say it could take up to 5 years to get the documents, just the clearance you need to build.
On a side note, I guess just and I Googled it because I thought that can't be right. The $55 billion in COVID money that just disappeared, basically. I thought, billion? Not think about thousand?
Billion.
Yeah. So, and they were talking about how they were cutting these unemployment checks to people that were
undocumented.
Or not just that, like, weren't even there. Like, these criminal organizations from other countries found some loophole, and they were just not verifying it.
I thank God that we live here. Yes. That's all I'll tell you, because the world has gone crazy, but we are a little insulated here. Thank God we are. We still have enough of our own problems and issues stirring around out there. But
yeah, so that was all just simply amazing to find out how ill prepared they were by their own choices, and I just couldn't imagine that.
Well, could you imagine being an officer out there or a fireman out there right now? You're watching your entire world burn, knowing that there's probably a captain somewhere that had to lay people off, there's probably firehouses that are running.
They said that the LA Fire Department was down, they were down a third of their staff.
Yeah. So you think about that. There are firemen out there that, they had to let people go that could have been fighting that fire. And, there they stand watching not just everybody else's, but, they've lost a lot of their own homes. Yeah. The Attorney General of the state, sister home, and he was manually evacuated.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going on with his house at the time, and his sister's house is gone. So it's not, like I said, the chickens are coming home to roost. The people that made the decisions to do these silly things are not insulated. And then the good people that are out there trying to help are trying to do it with one hand tied behind their back if you're a policeman or a fireman.
100%. Yeah.
And it's just, again, it won't, we're talking about making Canada the 51st state. I was going to say we could just get rid of California and take in Canada.
Yeah,
give Canada to Denmark or something, or give California to Denmark. Let them have that. We'll trade them for Greenland.
Yeah, I've been reading a little bit about all those things. People are getting spun.
Again, that's we're getting off track on politics, but I know you said you have to go. Is there anything that's going on that you want people to know about? Are there any things that folks need to be paying attention to, watching for? Is there anything good, bad, or indifferent at the office that you want?
So the only thing is it's budget season, so we're having looking, reevaluating our monies, what we've done with it, how much we're turning back in, making sure that. And we're going to have surplus again every year.
That's good.
We've done that. We appreciate commission, and they do a good job funding us. The constant battle we always fight is pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been really good to us, despite what some may say. It's just our industry doesn't pay a lot for whatever reason, but Anderson County Commission has done a really good job.
I've said my whole life, if you want to change the world, or at least change the United States of America, I could do it very quickly. I would just flip the salaries. I would start teachers, police officers, and firemen, emergency responders at 6 figures.
Yeah.
And I would take lawyers and everybody else. I mean, seriously, we pay, There's governors out there that are making hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to be a figurehead. You would get the best in the world if you did that.
Absolutely.
You would get the best in the world because people could do what they want to do in their heart and make a reasonable living. $100,000 is a lot of money. Sounds like to a lot of people, but in today's world, with a family of 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And so.
So we're working up on our budget, and then of course when we do that, there's a couple of things that we're always evaluating salaries and what is offered around us because we're competing for the same bodies when it comes to that. And in addition to that, there's just built-in cost of inflation, for our food for the inmates.
Sure.
Uniform costs, like last year the uniforms that we wear, they had a 30% increase.
Oh.
And so we're looking at that, and that's
inflation.
Yeah, that's.
Golly.
I mean, it's hard to balance that stuff.
And that food, just to feed them, has went up, hasn't it?
And yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So one of the best things that we've done is this contract with Heritage. They're worth their weight in gold, in my opinion.
Are they who scrub your medical bills?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's literally just a contract, and they don't get paid until they save.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
That's good.
And so, and we've been very pleased with what they've done for us because medical costs are just unbelievable. So, like for example, right in the middle of the snow, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Right. We have 2 in our jail that have to be hospitalized,
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stress enough that this segment of our population that are committing crimes and being locked up or accused of crimes and being locked up, these folks are not, when something hurts, they generally don't know it because there's almost always some kind of drug addiction issue involved.
When they have a problem, they don't know it till they're sober.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they don't get sober until they're with us.
In jail. And
what happens is everything starts hurting, and of course we're on the hook to treat them because they're in our care and custody, and of course taxpayers get stuck with that, and we triage them through our Southern Healthcare partners, but some of them have to go because we don't have a doctor around the clock down there.
Yeah.
Right. And then it never fails that a few times a year we get sued for not providing quality care is what they always accuse us of. They never have collected that I'm aware of. But, remember the false teeth story?
Yeah.
So it's just, because, our dentist that comes in, we got one move. we pull teeth.
Well,
and we think that's reasonable.
Well, I think it is too.
I mean, we're not going to.
You're not there. You're not a dentist.
Yeah, we're not there for cosmetic dentistry.
Have you ever in the state of Tennessee? What's the highest paid policing agency?
Currently, THP.
And what do they start at?
About 70,000.
About 70,000.
Yeah, we start at about 40.
So yeah, in order to compete, it's
tough. And Governor Lee has increased their numbers and made it a little easier to become a trooper in the sense of they have a really long academy.
Okay.
If you're coming in off the streets, never been a police officer, but now they do these transition academies that cuts it about in half. So I think trooper academies, and I could be wrong on this, they're about 24 weeks long.
Okay.
Before you get out of the academy, and they call you a trooper. Then you're a probationary trooper, and you have to go through a FTO program where you're with someone, and that's just how law enforcement works. For your municipalities and counties, it's a 12-week school, and then usually an 8-week FTO.
Okay.
But now that they've seen an influx of, and we all have, people from out west, up north, who are coming here, and you try to alleviate the academy issue with transition schools.
Gotcha.
And just see how their matches up with what the requirements for the state of Tennessee. And so we're competing with that. And then you get, like just here in East Tennessee, Knox County's huge. They pay a little better than us. And then you get into Blount and Sevier, who have a lot more tourism. And so the tax dollars, particularly in Sevier County, are there. They have a little bit different sources of income. And so we're competing with them. And so it makes it difficult. And then, of course, like the city of Oak Ridge, I mean, they pay really well. It's not trooper money, but it's better than us. And
so, have you ever set or had someone set and figure out what it would cost the county to be one of the Blount County, Oak Ridge type?
Yeah, we've looked at that. So here, this is another really. This is why it gets difficult. Okay, so when I first came in to the business, I literally rode around for 3 years, couldn't believe they was paying me to do this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a young guy. Only thing I cared about was my paycheck.
Gotcha.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care I had free health insurance at the city.
Gotcha.
It meant nothing to me. I was never sick.
Yep.
Right? Now, I'm 54 and everything hurts. Insurance is important to me.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you look at not just money, but you look at benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to balance that because we have a wide range of deputies at Anderson County. We have corrections people who are 20, 21, and I've got 62-year-olds still working the road.
Yeah.
So everything is different. Plus, your individual, how you manage your own life, right? Are you prepared for retirement, or are you not? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because I
was.
Yeah, I got guys that would love to go home, but they can't.
Uh-huh.
And promise you, those guys, it's always about health insurance.
But I'm just saying apples to apples. You referenced, Blount County and some of these other, I'm sure they have benefits too.
Yes.
I just wonder what it would take. Not that we could get there, but I mean, our tax base is growing.
100% it is.
And,
Listen, I can promise you this. We have people on commission who are for us, just simply.
Yeah.
And I get.
And I'm not saying we're underfunded. I don't want anybody to think I'm saying that or you're saying that.
No,
I'm just curious on what it would take that Sheriff Russell Barker could say, you could come and work for us. We are the best paid county in the state of Tennessee with the best benefits. So if you're working somewhere and if you're one of the best, we pay the best, come here. And then your turnover goes away. Then you have.
Yeah, there is So I'm going to tell you this. This is kind of off topic, but you're right. I mean, you balance it between pay, you balance it between benefits, and you balance it between culture of your department, right?
True.
And one of the things that I tell our guys when we get raises, particularly when we got the new pay scale a couple years ago, no, expectations change.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you get more money. To whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah. The expectation of I hate this sounds terrible, but good customer service.
Absolutely.
I mean, so we have to have that, and so, but one of the things that sitting here in my old age, that again you don't think about in your 20s and 30s. What I would love to see for the industry, and it won't happen in my lifetime, but the one thing the federal government has right, okay, is our military, in the sense that if you pull 20 years, you're eligible to retire.
Yeah.
And of course, the more you stay, the better your retirement package is. But I think police officers, irregardless of their age, and it probably would hold true for all first responders, but I can speak about what I know, law enforcement and corrections. 25 years, I don't care if you're 45 or 75, you should be able to go home and not worry about benefits and things like that. Just simply because I read this thing on PTSD where these military guys get into, like Fallujah, heck of a firefight, and things they see. They compared that to first responders who it's the same PTSD, but not gushing out fire hose. It's every day, drops here, drops there.
Yeah.
Dead bodies, victims of violent crime.
Sure.
Car crashes.
Sure.
Where you see mangled bodies, and then some of those first responders, particularly in law enforcement, have some firefights. I've got a guy on my staff right now who we brought in. He retired and came in from another agency. He's been in three officer-involved shootings. And of course, a lot of our people are prior service military. So and I know for a fact this guy has been deployed a couple times.
What is our retirement set up as? Is it...
We're on the state system, TCRS. Okay. I had no idea about this, that it operated like this until I became sheriff, but there's different levels of TCRS. Okay. I thought it was, it's state retirement, right? And by all accounts, it's one of the healthiest funds out there. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Top 5 is what I was told. Right.
Okay.
That state manages it really well. The issue is they take your high 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be in much better shape than my average patrol guy because I'm the sheriff.
Your high 5, yeah.
But it's somewhere around 49% of your high 5. Okay. Which, that ain't bad if you're knocking down 6 figures.
Yeah. But if you're
knocking down 40,
yeah,
and you get 49%.
Yeah.
Of 40.
You're going to go greet her at Walmart.
Yeah, you're going to have to work again.
Yeah.
And then all the insurance stuff is a problem. One thing that I know the Clinton Police Department, or I've been told, I should say I know, that if you hit your retirement spot, and everybody in law enforcement who's part of TCRS, they try to get to the 30-year mark.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you leave, you're fully vested after 5, but when you get penalized. So 30 is kind of the magic number, which is a super long time to be in this game, honestly. But particularly if you're a road guy,
gotcha.
If you're not a detective, or you don't get into administration, if you don't have those skills, if your thing is just traffic, or you do traffic enforcement, that's a long time to be out there.
Yeah.
Depending on when you get in, and so so there was this 25-55, right? 55 years of age with 25 years of service. That was one thing Rick Scarborough pushed.
Gotcha.
But there's buy-in, and so your local governments are hesitant to do that.
Gotcha.
But anyway, bottom line is, I think there should be a industry-wide standard, regardless if you're at a 5-man department or a 1,500-man department.
Yeah.
That needs to be looked at. However, the problem is, I don't know. It's all about funding, and I don't know how some of your distressed counties, your more rural counties, and your smaller 4 or 5-man, like Wartburg Police Department.
Yeah.
How can they do it?
Yeah.
I mean, so we got, but we need to take a really good look at it.
Again, when you start digging into it, it's a complex problem. But like I said, I think if you paid first responders, police officers, a huge amount of money, teachers, huge amount of money.
I agree.
You could change the world. I mean, in just I think a very short, a generation anyway.
Yeah.
I think you could change the face of the state, the country, in a generation.
Ron, even when we try to leave,
I know we burn an hour when we try to be short, but hey, I'm the one that brought up stopping this time.
I know. We can't quit.
I appreciate you, Sheriff Barker. I really do. You're doing a good job. I appreciate all your help and willingness to come in here and hang out with us and talk and keep us up to date.
It's good. Listen, it's good.
I think it's good for the community. I always get compliments on it when we do it. People always tell me they appreciate it. So I hope they tell you the same thing. So, and tell Mr. Val he did a pretty good job.
Did he?
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Well, I was kidding him. He said he's gonna do an Elvis farewell tour. All right, we're in. Let me know when he's ready. Me and the Parrott brothers.
Okay.
We're gonna back him up.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you, Russell. Have a great day. Everybody, hang out here with me. We're gonna wrap things up here on WYSH. You should consider advertising on WYSH Trading Time because people all over East Tennessee are listening and just might come in and do business with you. Good morning, WYSH Radio Trading Time. Hi, you're on the air. Where are you calling us from this morning?
Knoxville.
Hey.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ron, and I'm calling from Powell.
Thank you. Where are you calling me from this morning?
Clinton.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling me from this morning, brother?
I'm down here in Olive Springs. I've been right here on this corner since 1972.
My friend, where are you calling me from today?
Clinton.
Okay, that'll do it. Where are you calling from today? I know where you're at. You're here in Clinton.
That's right.
Go right ahead. Where are you calling me from?
I'm in between Olive Springs and Harriman. Well, I'm up here in the Andersonville area.
Yes, ma'am. Where are you calling us from today?
Rockwood.
Go right ahead.
We're on the wrong county down here. How you doing?
Good morning. You're on the air.
It's Big Ron from Metropolis in Harriman, Tennessee. Now I'm up at here. We're sitting by the fireplace.
Where are you calling us from this morning?
Oliver Springs.
Where are you at today, David? Where are you calling from?
Over on Raccoon Valley.
Raccoon Valley. AM 1380 WYSH WYSH. Where are you calling me from today, sir?
Jacksboro.
Jacksboro. Fantastic. Where are you calling me from this morning?
Oliver Springs.
Where are you at this morning?
I'm in Dutch Valley community. They can call me here in La Follette.
Good morning, sir. Where are you calling us from today?
Call from Rockwood.
Good deal.
I'm calling from South Clinton.
Where are you calling me from today?
This is Nick in Oak Ridge.
Nick in Oak Ridge. Good morning, Nick. Thank you. Where are you calling from this morning?
Knoxville.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, I'm calling from Briceville, Tennessee today.
Calling from Bryce. Yes, sir. Where are you calling me from?
Harriman.
Harriman. Thank you. Pat, you're calling me from West Wolf Valley.
West Wolf Valley, yes, sir.
There you go.
Right here below the radio station on Spring Street.
Where are you calling us from this morning, sir?
Campbell County.
Yes, it is. Hi. Good morning. Where are you calling me from today?
I'm calling down here from South Harriman.
That's exactly right. Where are you calling me from today, pal?
La Follette.
La Follette. Thank you. Go ahead. Fantastic. Campbell County's in the house today. Where are you calling me from today?
South Clinton.
Thank you, sir. Where are you calling me from today?
Here in Clinton, Ron.
Thank you, sir. Do you currently or would you like to draw business from any of these areas? Clinton, Oliver Springs, Jacksboro, Oak Ridge, Rockwood, La Follette, Andersonville, Harriman, Caryville, Dutch Valley, Roane County, Campbell County, Knoxville, South Clinton, Bryceville, West Wolf Valley, Raccoon Valley, Spring Street, South Harriman, Emery Gap, Powell, and many others? This is just one day of trading time. We do it 6 days a week, twice a day. A world of business is waiting to hear about your business on Trading Time. So why not advertise your business right here on WYSH Trading Time? Heard on AM 1380, FM 99.5, FM 101.1, online at WYSHradio.com, at BBB TV 12.
TN12.com. On your Alexa, simply say, play WYSH Radio Clinton on the TuneIn Radio app. Watch Trading Time on Comcast Xfinity Channel 1081 or 1086. On Facebook, search WYSH AM 1380 or BBB TV 12. On YouTube, Twitter, now X, just search BBB TV 12. And you can watch on your Roku, Fire Stick, and Apple TV streaming device by downloading Boxcast and then searching BBB Communications. So why not advertise your business to everyone listening to Trading Time right here on WYSH.
It's a new year. This year is going to be a great one. I'm going to be better. I'm going to eat better things. I'm going to be better about not being on my phone. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to run. I'm going to run a race. Maybe I'll run a marathon. I'm going to need to train for this. And this beard is going to slow me down big time. I need to be more aerodynamic. I'm going to need to shave it. Thankfully, I can get a trial shave set from Harry's for just $3 with a two-tone ergonomic handle, German-engineered blades, and rich foaming shave gel. Oh, and it comes with a travel cover, too, so I can stay aerodynamic anywhere I go. Travel. Yeah, I'm going to do that this year, too.
Start your year off right with Harry's. Get started with a trial set for just $3 plus free shipping at harrys.com/face. That's harrys.com/face.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember,